there's no difference between Nigeria and CBN. CBN is a Nigerian agency.
Yeah, a big one.
A big Nigerian agency. So, but I think the solution to our revenue gap is to look inwards.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have huge potential that, in my own opinion, we are barely scratching. From human capital resources, we are barely, we have a huge education gap. Now the whole world is moving into tech, into ICT, but we've not even been able to get our people to read and write.
This is Souq business landscape. Now, talking about growing, let's say World Bank, and let's talk World Bank. World Bank is cutting its particular grant that was supposed to come to CBN, and they are making a board review, and they are setting the date very soon. Now, the World Bank has reduced the size of a planned grant. The word there is grant to the Central Bank of Nigeria to $6.8 million from $10.5 million. Now, this is according to updated project information. The change affects the CBN's technical assistance facility and comes ahead of board consideration now scheduled for March 27th. The funding remains a grant rather than a loan and is intended to strengthen technology-enabled, data-driven supervision of Nigeria's banking sector. It also aims to improve oversight of domestic payment system and remittance infrastructure, supporting financial stability and more efficient regulatory monitoring. World Bank documents show the project focuses on modern supervisory tools, analytics, and institutional capacity at the Apex Bank. The reduction narrows available resources but does not change core objective, with approval timing suggesting continued engagement on strengthening Nigeria's financial system governance. Now, officials are saying that the implementation will prioritize system reliance, data quality, staff training, and coordination with other financial regulators nationwide, and that will be done effectively. I see this more like CSI from a business community to people that you make money off. So that's just my thoughts, though. So let's say we have Diageo. I'm just using that as an example. You guys know your CSI is okay, and they just okay. Let's go to Moshi. They drink a lot of our product. Let's party them this weekend. So just like the World Bank, they are looking at their customers and say, okay, good and fine, let's throw out more bits. But this particular bit, we are reducing it. Do you see them kind of having a back-end oversight over some central banks in Nigeria?
I think their role is majorly advisory. They end the advisory role because they give you loans without collateral. So if anybody is giving you money, I think they end the right to advise you. And the punishment for not heeding to the advice is no money.
The next time you come.
No money. So
some of those particular loans are tied to policies. Policy change.
Yeah, that's
not just it goes beyond advice.
It's still advisory because once you get the money, you can decide to do whatever you want to do with it, and it's just maybe the next tranche. You probably will not get the next tranche. Mm-hmm. So it's still advisory because there's no enforcement. They cannot come back to say, oh, because we say you should invest this money in hospitals, you didn't invest it, and then they want to start seizing property. The best they can do is to, say, oh, you're not getting the next one, and blackball you, blackname you, you cannot access funds from other
sister agents and the rest.
Globally. So, but I think they've earned the right, like I said, because they're giving out this money. And the grants, I don't know why we need grants. I know we have a revenue problem, huge revenue gap problem.
It's not even us, it's the CBN right now.
Yeah, I mean, CBN, there's no difference between Nigeria and CBN. CBN is a Nigerian agency.
Yeah, a big one.
A big Nigerian agency. So, but I think the solution to our revenue gap is to look inwards.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have huge potential that, in my own opinion, we are barely scratching. From human capital resources, we are barely, we have a huge education gap. Now the whole world is moving into tech, into ICT, but we've not even been able to get our people to read and write, to so many mineral resources littered all over the country. So I think our solution to bridge our revenue gap is to look inwards to develop both human resources and the mineral resources that is buried all over the country. But I can understand the temporary fix, but for how long do we want to continue to take temporary fix from the IMF and World Bank and the rest of this agency? But we need to start looking inward to fix our revenue gap. If anything, we can see that we've been taking all of this money and we're still far behind in our revenue to be able to develop our infrastructure and deliver good life for our people.
Deliver good life for our people.
The last thing Amin just said was we've been collecting these monies, and yet we can't really point out to see what this money is ever doing correctly. I think one of the issues here is when I saw this, I quickly went online to check. You see reactions of people. Honestly, it's not a rejection. It's more of the World Bank is just saying that we should I use the word recalibrating what's the.
Is it a grant?
Yeah, it's a grant. So it's not like it's a grant, and I can decide to do anything I want to do when it comes to a grant in terms of the amount of money I want to give to you. So I think the major issue here is for the CBN to look at not the money, not the volume of the money, but the essence at which this money was given.
Okay.
We're talking about
training.
Yes, system improvements, payment upgrading and the rest, payment flow, transparency within the institution, getting the right hands, because we know how voluminous and how expensive it is to get these trainings for the staff, interns and the rest. So it's not about the money, right? Because every now and then, we get a lot of monies in this country. Earlier you said, as customers to them. Personally, I want to appreciate and say thank you to the World Bank, because we need the money. I don't know what I mean. I mean, saying we need the money. Well, he doesn't know why they're giving us money, but we actually need the money one way or the other. We actually need the money.
It's grant, it's dash money.
We need it. Whether it's dash, whether it's loan, we need it. There are a lot of things that still need fixing, still needs amendments and upgrading.
CBN is a banker's bank.
I get.
They make money off other banks.
Whichever way. Yeah, we know that. But
okay.
At the end of the day, when you look at where Nigeria is and how we're trying to build this industry to be bigger, to also accommodate young ones that are still in school, people that are still coming out, it's a place that should be well developed. And no matter how much they make from other banks,
okay,
it's still needed.
Okay, I agree with you. Now, talking about some good development when it comes to technology, do we see fintechs challenging these major bodies that much?
No, because of the policy you put in place. So it's more or less of although personally from my own background, I would expect that whether or not the policy favors you, whether or not the policy is harsh or it's business driven, profit driven, human driven, as long as I'm sure they have their own should I say committee, their own meetings and the rest conferences. If it's not in line with what you want for your vision for the people of Nigeria, then you should question certain policies. You should call for the attention of His Excellency on matters that has to do with this, because we're talking about money. We're talking about money transfers. We're talking about investment, interest, and the rest. So if it's not a safe place for you to do business, then you should call out the CBN.